Associazione Calcio Milan, commonly referred to as AC Milan or simply Milan, is a professional Italian football club based in Milan, Lombardy, that plays in Serie A. Milan was founded in 1899 by English lace-maker Herbert Kilpin and businessman Alfred Edwards among others. The club has spent its entire history, with the exception of the 1980-81 and 1982-83 seasons, in the top flight of Italian football, known as Serie A since 1929-30. With 18 officially recognized UEFA and FIFA titles, they are the second most successful club in the world in terms of number of international titles, together with Boca Juniors and Real Madrid, and behind Al Ahly with 20 titles. Milan has won a joint record of 3 Intercontinental Cups and one of its successor, the FIFA Club World Cup. Milan have also won the European Cup, Champions League on 7 occasions, second only to Real Madrid. They have also won the UEFA Super Cup, a joint record 5 times, and the Cup Winners' Cup twice. Milan has won every major competition in which it has competed, with the exception of the Europa League. Domestically, with 18 league titles, Milan is the joint second most successful club in Serie A behind Juventus, along with local rivals Inter. They have also won the Coppa Italia 5 times, as well as 6 Supercoppa Italiana triumphs. Milan's home games are played at San Siro, also known as the Stadio Giuseppe Meazza. The stadium, which is shared with long-lasting city rivals Internazionale, is the largest in Italian football, with a total capacity of 80,018. Into are considered their biggest rivals, and matches between the two teams are called Derby della Madonnina, which is one of the most followed derbies in football. As of 2010, Milan is the 3rd most supported team in Italy, and the 7th most supported team in Europe, ahead of any other Italian team. The owner of the club is former Italian Prime Minister and controlling shareholder of Mediaset Silvio Berlusconi. The vice president is Adriano Galliani. The club is one of the wealthiest and most valuable in Italian and world football. It was a founding member of the now-defunct G14 group of Europe's leading football clubs, as well as its replacement, the European Club Association. History. AC Milan was founded as Milan Cricket and Football Club on 13 December 1899 by English expatriates Alfred Edwards and Herbert Kilpin, who came from the English city of Nottingham. In honor of its English origins, the club has retained the English speaking of the city's name, as opposed to the Italian spelling Milano, which it was forced to bear under the fascist regime. Milan won its first Italian championship in 1901 and a further 2 in succession in 1906 and 1907. In 1908, Milan experienced a split caused by internal disagreements over the signing of foreign players, which led to the forming of another Milan-based team, FC Internazionale Milano. Following these events, Milan did not manage to win a single domestic title until 1950-51. The 1950s saw the club return to the top of Italian football, headed by the famous Giarino Swedish trio Gunnar Gren, Gunnar Nordahl and Nils Lidholm. This was one of the club's most successful periods domestically, with the Scudetto going to Milan in 1951, 1955, 1957, 1959 and 1962. In 1963, Milan won its first continental title by beating SL Benfica in the final of the European Cup. This success was repeated in 1969, with a 4-1 win over AFC Ajax in the final, which was followed by the Intercontinental Cup title the same year. During this period Milan also won its first Coppa Italia, with victory over Padova in the 1967 final, and 3 European Cup Winners' Cups, in 1967-68, 1972-73 and 1973-74. Milan won a 10th league title in 1979, but after the retirement of Gianni Rivera in the same year, the team went into a period of decline. The club was involved in the 1980 Totonero scandal and as punishment was relegated to Serie B for the first time in its history. The scandal was centered around a betting syndicate paying players and officials to fix the outcome of matches. Milan achieved promotion back to Serie A at the first attempt, winning the 1980-81 Serie B title, but were again relegated a year later as the team ended its 1981-82 campaign in third-last place. In 1983, Milan won the Serie B title for the second time in 3 seasons to return to Serie A, where they achieved a 6th-place finish in 1983-84. On 20 February 1986, entrepreneur Silvio Berlusconi acquired the club and saved it from bankruptcy, investing vast amounts of money, appointing rising manager Arrigo Sacchi at the helm of the Rossoneri and signing Netherlands internationals Ruud Gullit, Marco van Basten and Frank Rijkaard. The Dutch trio added an attacking impetus to the team, and complemented the club's Italian internationals Paolo Maldini, Franco Baresi, Alessandro Costacurta and Roberto Donadoni. Under Sacchi, Milan won its first Scudetto in 9 years in the 1987-88 season. The following year the club won its first European Cup in 2 decades, beating Romanian club Steaua Bucharest 4-0 in the final. Milan retained their title with a 1-0 win over Benfica a year later and remain the last team to win back-to-back European Cups. The Milan team of 1989-90 has been voted the best club side of all time, in a global poll of experts conducted by World Soccer magazine. After Sacchi left Milan in 1991, he was replaced by the club's former player Fabio Capello, whose team won 3 consecutive Serie A titles between 1992 and 1994, a spell which included a 58-match unbeaten run in Serie A and back-to-back UEFA Champions League final appearances in 1993 and 1994. A year after losing 1-0 to Olympique de Marseille in the 1993 Champions League final, the team reached its peak in one of Milan's most memorable matches of all time, the famous 4-0 win over Barcelona in the 1994 Champions League final. Capello's team went on to win the 1995-96 league title before he left to coach Real Madrid in 1996. In 1998-99, after a 2-year period of decline, Milan lifted its 16th championship in the club's centenary season. Milan's next period of success came under another former player, Carlo Ancelotti. After his appointment in November 2001, Ancelotti took Milan to the 2003 Champions League final, where they defeated Juventus on penalties to win the club's 6th European Cup. The team then won the Scudetto in 2003-04, before reaching the 2005 Champions League final, where they were beaten by Liverpool on penalties despite leading 3-0 at half-time. 2 years later, the two teams met again in the 2007 Champions League final, with Milan winning 2-1 to lift the title for a 7th time. The team then won its first FIFA Club World Cup in December 2007. In 2009, after becoming Milan's second longest-serving coach, with 420 matches overseen, Ancelotti left the club to take over as head coach at Chelsea. During this period, the club was involved in the Calciopoli scandal, where 5 teams were accused of fixing matches by selecting favourable referees. A police inquiry excluded any involvement of Milan managers, but FIGC unilaterally decided that it had sufficient evidence to charge Milan vice president, Adriano Galliani. As a result, Milan was initially punished with a 15-point deduction and was banned from the 2006-07 UEFA Champions League. An appeal saw that penalty reduced to 8 points, which allowed the club to retain its Champions League participation. Following the aftermath of Calciopoli, local rivals Internazionale dominated Serie A, winning 4 Scudetti. However, with the help of strong squad boasting players such as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Robinho and Alexandre Pato joining many of the veterans of the club's mid-decade European successes, Milan recaptured the Scudetto in the 2010-11 Serie A season, their first since the 2003-04 season, and 18th overall. Colours and badge. Red and black are the colours which have represented the club throughout its entire history. They were chosen to represent the players' fiery ardour and the opponent's fear to challenge the team. Rossoneri, the team's widely used nickname, literally means the red and blacks in Italian, in reference to the colours of the stripes on its jersey. Another nickname derived from the club's colours is the Devil. An image of a red devil was used as Milan's logo at one point, with a golden star for sport excellence located next to it. As is customary in Italian football, the star above the logo was awarded to the club after winning 10 league titles in 1979. For many years, Milan's badge was simply the flag of Milan, which was originally the flag of St. Ambrose. The modern badge used today represents the club colours and the flag of the Comune di Milano, with the acronym ACM at the top and the foundation year at the bottom. White shorts and black socks are usually worn as part of the home strip. Milan's away strip has always been completely white. It is considered by both the fans and the club to be a lucky strip in Champions League finals, due to the fact that Milan has won 6 finals out of 8 in an all-white strip, and only won 1 out of 3 in the home strip. The third strip, which is rarely used, changes yearly, being mostly black with red trimmings in recent seasons. Stadium. Giuseppe Meazza Stadium. The team's stadium is the 80,018-seat San Siro, officially known as Stadio Giuseppe Meazza after the former player who represented both Milan and Internazionale. The more commonly used name, San Siro, is the name of the district where it is located. San Siro has been the home of Milan since 1926, when it was privately built by funding from Milan's president at the time, Piero Pirelli. Construction was performed by 120 workers, and took 13.5 months to complete. The stadium was owned by the club until it was sold to the city council in 1935, and since 1947 has been shared with Internazionale, when the other major Milanese club was accepted as joint tenant. The first game played at the stadium was on the 19th of September 1926, when Milan lost 6-3 in a friendly match against Internazionale. Milan played its first league game in San Siro on the 19th of September 1926, losing 1-2 to Sampierdarini's. From an initial capacity of 35,000 spectators, the stadium has undergone several major renovations, most recently in preparation for the 1990 FIFA World Cup, when its capacity was set to 85,700, all covered with a polycarbonate roof. In the summer of 2008, its capacity has been reduced to 80,018, to meet the new standards set by UEFA. Based on the English model for stadiums, San Siro is specifically designed for football matches, as opposed to many multi-purpose stadiums used in Serie A. It is therefore renowned in Italy for its fantastic atmosphere during matches, thanks to the closeness of the stands to the pitch. The frequent use of flares by supporters contributes to the atmosphere, but the practice has occasionally caused problems. AC Milan Emirates Stadium on 19 December 2005. Milan Vice President and Executive Director Adriano Galliani announced that the club is seriously working towards a relocation. He said that Milan's new stadium will be largely based on the Veltins Arena and will follow the standards of football stadiums in the United States, Germany and Spain. As opposed to many other stadiums in Italy, Milan's new stadium will likely be used for football only, having no athletics track. On the 11th of December 2014, Barbara Berlusconi announced a proposal to build a property stadium of 42,000 seats in Portolo, behind the new HQ of the Rossoneri, and the big square, Piazza Gino Vale. The new village with shopping malls and hotel is located near City Life District and is served by the metro. However, on the 20th of September 2015, Silvio Berlusconi has called an end to his club's plans to build a new stadium in the city. Supporters and rivalries. Milan is one of the best supported football clubs in Italy, according to research conducted by Italian newspaper La Repubblica. Historically, Milan was supported by the city's working class and trade unionists. On the other hand, crosstown rivals Internazionale were mainly supported by the more prosperous and typically Milanese middle class. One of the oldest ultras groups in all of Italian football, Fossa dei Leoni, originated in Milan. Currently, the main ultras group within the support base is Brigate Rossoneri. Politically, Milan ultras have never had any particular preference, but the media traditionally associated them with the left wing, until recently, when Berlusconi's presidency somewhat altered that view. According to a study from 2010, Milan is the most supported Italian team in Europe and 7th overall, with over 18.4 million fans. AC Milan had the 9th highest average attendance of European football clubs during the 2010-11 season, behind Borussia Dortmund, FC Barcelona, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Schalke, Arsenal, and Hamburg. Genoa fans consider Milan a hated rival after Genoa fan, Vincenzo Spagnuolo, was stabbed to death by a Milan supporter in January 1995. However, Milan's main rivalry is with neighbor club, Internazionale. Both clubs meet in the widely anticipated Derby della Madonnina twice every Serie A season. The name of the derby refers to the Blessed Virgin Mary, whose statue atop the Milan Cathedral is one of the city's main attractions. The match usually creates a lively atmosphere, with numerous banners unfolded before the start of the game. Flares are commonly present and contribute to the spectacle, but they have occasionally led to problems, including the abandonment of the second leg of the 2004-05 Champions League quarter-final match between Milan and Inter on 12 April 2005, after a flare thrown from the crowd by an Inter supporter struck Milan keeper Dida on the shoulder. Players. First team squad as of 1 September 2015. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Out on loan. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Current coaching staff. As of 17 July 2015. Presidents and managers. Presidential history. Milan has had numerous presidents over the course of its history, some of whom have been owners of the club while others have been honorary presidents. Here is a complete list of them. Managerial history. Below is a list of Milan coaches from 1900 until the present day. Honors. Milan is one of the most successful clubs in Italy, having won a total of 29 major trophies, and was the most successful club in the world in terms of international trophies until February 2014, when Al Ahly SC claimed that title. It is now the second most successful club, together with Real Madrid, Barcelona and Boca Juniors. With a record of 14 European trophies and 4 world titles, Milan has earned the right to place a star on its jersey in recognition of the fact that it has won at least 10 Scudetti. Domestic League Serie A winners: 1901, 1906, 1907, 1950-51, 1954-55, 1956-57, 1958-59, 1961-62, 1967-68, 1978-79, 1987-88, 1991-92, 1992-93, 1993-94, 1995-96, 1998-99, 2003-4, 2010-11. Serie B winners: 1980-81, 1982-83. Cups Coppa Italia winners: 1966-67, 1971-72, 1972-73, 1976-77, 2002-3. Supercoppa Italiana winners: 1988, 1992, 1993, 1994, 2004, 2011. European Cup, UEFA Champions League winners: 1962-63, 1968-69, 1988-89, 1989-90, 1993-94, 2002-3, 2006-7. UEFA Cup winners: 1967-68, 1972-73. UEFA Super Cup winners, shared record: 1989, 1990, 1994, 2003, 2007. Worldwide Intercontinental Cup winners, shared record: 1969, 1989, 1990. FIFA Club World Cup winners: 2007. Club statistics and records: Paolo Maldini holds the records for both total appearances and Serie A appearances for Milan, with 902 official games played in total and 647 in Serie A, the latter being an all-time Serie A record. Swedish forward Gunnar Nordal scored 38 goals in the 1950-51 season, 35 of which were in Serie A, setting an Italian football and club record. He went on to become Milan's all-time top goal scorer, scoring 221 goals for the club in 268 games. He is followed in second place by Andriy Shevchenko with 175 goals in 322 games, and Gianni Rivera in third place, who has scored 164 goals in 658 games. Rivera is also Milan's youngest ever goalscorer, scoring in a league match against Juventus at just 17 years. Legendary tactician Nerio Rocco, the first proponent of Catenaccio in the country, was Milan's longest-serving head coach, sitting on the bench for over 9 years in the 1960s and early 1970s, winning the club's first European Cup triumphs. Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, who purchased the club in 1986, is Milan's longest-serving president. The first official match in which Milan participated was in the Third Federal Football Championship, the predecessor of Serie A, losing 3-0 to Torinese. Milan's biggest ever victory was 13-0 versus Audax Modena, in a league match at the 1914-15 season. Its heaviest defeat was recorded in the league at the 1922-23 season, beaten 0-8 by Bologna. During the 1991-92 season, the club achieved the feature of being the first team to win the Serie A title without losing a single game. Previously, only Perugia had managed to go unbeaten over an entire Serie A season, but finished second in the table. In total, Milan's unbeaten streak lasted 58 games, starting with a 0-0 draw against Parma on 26 May 1991 and coincidentally ending with a 1-0 home loss to Parma on 21 March 1993. This is a Serie A record as well as the third longest unbeaten run in top-flight European football, coming in behind Steaua Bucuresti's record of 104 unbeaten games and Celtic's 68-game unbeaten run. Along with Boca Juniors, Milan won more FIFA-recognized international club titles than any other club in the world. The sale of Kaká to Real Madrid in 2009 broke the 8-year-old world football transfer record held by Zinedine Zidane, costing the Spanish club €67 million. However, that record lasted for less than a month, broken by Cristiano Ronaldo's £80 million transfer. This record, however, is in terms of nominal British pound rates, not adjusted to inflation or the real value in euro, the currency used in Italy and Spain. Madrid bought Zidane for €75 million in 2001, about £46 million at that time.